I'm very pleased to be joined in the studio on this difficult day by Tzipi Hotovely, Israeli ambassador to the United Kingdom. Thank you for coming in.
Hello, Nigel.
So according to Joe Biden and our Foreign Secretary, it was a good night for Israel. You got a win.
It was a bad night for Iran because Iran launched massive attack on Israel with, as you mentioned, over 300 missiles, including those drones that we've seen operating in Ukraine, same footprint of Iran. And in the end of the game, it ended with a major failure to the Iranians and with a creation of a wonderful coalition, including Israel, United States, United Kingdom. It's a good opportunity to thank your Royal Air Force and actually to your government also by leading this and understanding that this is a front that must be confronted together, and also with moderate Arab countries that were on our side. So together, I believe this coalition is now creating a message to Iran.
Not having thousands killed is not a win, is it?
No, absolutely not. I said it's a failure to Iran, but we don't see it as a win. No. We see it as performing of our technological abilities, of the fact that Israel can fight and Israel can create coalitions. Israel is not alone in the world. But, and I think this is the most important thing, one thing we have learned from the 7th of October, by again mentioning Hamas as a proxy of Iran, you should always look at your enemy's intentions, not whether he killed people, whether he managed to achieve the big things he wanted to achieve by targeting our military bases. Iran's attempt was to kill. Iran's attempt was to hurt. Iran's attempt was to attack a sovereign country from its own border, from its own soil.
For the first time.
For the first time. And since the first Gulf War, Israel was not attacked from another sovereign country. This is unprecedented. And the fact that Iran had the nerve to do it means not enough deterrence. And the game now is deterrence. Yeah. And no one is expecting Israel. And I'm looking at the people. I'm surrounded with British people that heard from the head of MI5 last year. Iran is a threat to this country as much as it's a threat to Israel. So Iran was targeting individuals in your country. And last year, it was the head of MI5 saying that. And all the government leaders know that.
No, I think the good news.
And just to make it clear, Israel is not being expected just to sit and do nothing when 300 weapons are fired on our cities.
That's the extraordinary thing, though, isn't it? I mean, look, I think there is good news here in that the focus of the debate now is back on Iran.
Right.
And people can very clearly see who the bad guys are.
The head of the snake.
Like, absolutely, and who is funding all the different proxies out there. And, you know, for the general public to understand proxy wars, you know, they're busy leading their lives. This makes it much simpler.
This line been hiding, as I told you, behind this bush of proxies, but not anymore.
Absolutely.
So
and the other sensible Arab states have been very much on your side, overnight allowing their airspace to be used to shoot down rockets, etc. And maybe that's the good thing. But the incredible thing here is, and we've had, you know, in the last hour or so, the IDF Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Halevi, saying that the drone attack will be met with a response, doesn't say how or when. The incredible thing I put to you is that actually what Joe Biden is saying and what David Cameron is saying is you mustn't respond at all. You must just accept it and take it, otherwise there will be escalation. Israel does have a right to respond. It's said it is going to respond. Question is, Ambassador, what would the intelligent response be?
So let's start with what is under my portfolio as a diplomat. Sure. There is some things the War Cabinet will make decisions, and the people of Israel are expecting very much to make sure that they will be protected from this type of attacks. No country in the world can tolerate this type of attacks. If we would have seen Birmingham, Manchester, Liverpool and London attacked at the same night with drones, I'm sure your Prime Minister wasn't happy and wasn't saying, OK, we just managed to...
No, but that's what they're telling you.
Exactly. So this is not the case, and we definitely need to create better deterrence for Iran. And another thing, one thing that the UK knows from any other country in the world better is that sometimes not operating, not acting against aggressor, create a bigger escalation. And I'm speaking about exactly the same thing you were saying, the appeasement. You cannot appease. Our long-standing approach from a diplomatic point of view is to prescribe the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guards,
something the British government still hasn't done.
Operating as a massive terror organization, the head of the octopus, sending its arms all over the Middle East, destabilizing all the region, sponsoring those horrific terror tunnels of Hamas, where we have 130 hostages still there, being violated, women being raped on a daily basis, and they're not releasing them. They're not willing to release all of them.
So should the British government act?
I think, first of all, it's for me to speak on behalf of the Israeli government. The Israeli government is responsible to act because we must make sure that Iran won't do that again. And if we let her go and let her, just say, it's not a big deal, 300 drones and missiles. It's a very big deal. It's a massive attack, and no one can really expect Israel to do nothing.
I just feel that Biden and Cameron are being rather condescending towards Israel. As an ambassador, I wouldn't expect you to respond to that comment.
No, I think actually we have a very close partnership with the UK, and I'm actually thanking the leadership of the government in this country for understanding the threat of Iran. And actually, we've been working very closely, including on an intelligence level, and the way the UK was operating about the Iran issue with the Americans was actually a robust point of view of understanding the big threat. They understand it's a threat to London as much as it's a threat on Jerusalem and Tel Aviv.
Ambassador Hotovely, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Indeed.